this will be for the con assignment and behavior of polynomials. Okay, for these questions, what you have to look at is the exponent, or should I say the greatest exponent on x, and the coefficient on that variable as well. All right, there's going to be 4 cases. So let's take notes. All right, so you want to look at the greatest exponent. All right. Greatest exponent. And the first case, it will be positive coefficient and even exponent. Positive coefficient, even exponent. It's basically going to look like this, generally speaking. It's going to look like that, okay? And if the coefficient in front, I'll do it in a different color. If it's a negative coefficient and an even exponent, it's basically going to be like this. Okay? So these 2 cases are when the exponent is even. Okay, we're looking at the greatest exponent. So now, if we have a positive coefficient and an odd exponent, the graph is basically going to be like this. All right. And if it's a negative coefficient and an odd exponent, the graph is going to be like this. All right. So it's almost like the mirror image. So it'll continue forever in that direction, in that direction. Okay. Same here. So those are the 4 cases. All right. And remember the symbol for infinity? That's the symbol for infinity. All right. So let's see, end behavior of polynomials. So for all of these, they want you to say what happens to the graph as x goes to infinity. All right, remember, the y-axis is up, down, the x-axis is left, right. So as x goes to infinity, they say what happens to the graph as it goes that way. Okay, and for the other part, the second part, they say x goes to negative infinity. So they want to know what happens to the graph when you go that way. Okay? So let's see. The highest exponent, it's 5x to the 6th. So it's even. And the coefficient in front of the x to the 6th, that's a 5. So it's a positive coefficient. It's even and it's a positive coefficient. So the graph, like we said, it's going to look like that. All right? So g of x is basically the y coordinate. Okay, so it's y equals this right here. All right, so as x goes to infinity, g of x, as the graph goes this way, for the y, it just goes, it keeps going up, up, up. It keeps going to infinity. All right, so here it says g of x goes to negative infinity. It can't be answer B. All right, it has to be A. We'll scroll down in a minute. But as x goes to infinity, g of x goes to infinity as well. Right? All we're saying is, as x goes to infinity, the farther right this graph goes, then it just keeps going higher and higher up. And on the other side, it's the same thing. They want to know as x goes to negative infinity, that's this way. X goes to negative infinity. Again, this keeps, if the further you go this way, this keeps going up, up, up. So the y coordinate goes to infinity as well. All right. So as x goes to infinity, g of x, which is the y coordinate, also goes to infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, which is this way, g of x, which is the y coordinate, goes to positive infinity. Okay, so we can see that's answer A. X goes to infinity, g of x goes to infinity. X goes to negative infinity, g of x goes to infinity. That's answer A. All right. And they just have the 4 separate cases, that's all. I think I made this too big or something. Let me see. Can't get to the next question. Okay, here we go again. So, greatest coefficient, x to the 9th. 9 is an odd number. And the coefficient, I'm sorry, I meant to say greatest exponent. Okay, we have an odd exponent. And the coefficient in front is 10. That's positive. So it's positive and an odd exponent. That means the graph is going to be like this. Okay? So going in this direction, I'll do it in a different color. Going in this direction, as x goes to infinity, this way, what happens to y? It just keeps going up, up, up. So y also goes to infinity. All right? And over here, as x goes this way, so that's negative infinity because we're going in the negative direction. What happens to the y? It goes down, down, down. So y goes to negative infinity. All right. So x goes to positive infinity, y goes to positive infinity. That's this way. If x goes to negative infinity, which is this way, the graph of y goes to negative infinity as well. It just keeps going down. Okay, and don't forget, for y, you use g of x. All right? So let's see. Look at answer C. As x goes to infinity, g of x goes, oh no, that's wrong. Look at answer D. As x goes to infinity, g of x goes to infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, g of x goes to negative infinity. Answer D. All right. So greatest exponent is 9. That's an odd exponent. Okay, the coefficient is positive. So it's positive and it's an odd exponent. That means the graph is going to be like this. Okay? So going this way, as x goes to infinity, what happens to y? It just keeps going up, positive infinity. So y goes to infinity as well. And then when you go to the left, as x goes to infinity, what happens to y? It just keeps going down. So as x, I'm sorry, I should have said negative infinity and negative infinity, right? Because left is negative and down is negative. So it's the same. It should be the same on both of them. X goes to infinity, p of x, which is y, goes to infinity. X goes negative, p of x goes negative. All right, one more. Always look at the greatest exponent, that's 4. So it's an even exponent. And the coefficient is 3, so it's positive. That's going to look like that, basically, generally speaking. Okay? So as x goes to positive infinity, y goes to positive infinity as well. As x goes to negative infinity, y goes to positive infinity as well, because up is positive. All right? So left, right is your x, up, down is your y. But again, they don't use y, they use function of x, whatever letter, in this case, q of x. Okay? So the first part is infinity, infinity. And the second part, x is negative infinity, and y is positive infinity. That's answer A.